Hello, welcome to Tele ERP9 with just a step-by-step guide from basic to advanced course. In this course, we are going to study about the Tele ERP9. It's a very useful for the accountants who are working into the Tele ERP9. And I'm your instructor, Ahmed Mohidi Mubin. The course covered 14 chapters. Chapter 1 is Introduction to the Accounting. Chapter 2 Tele Installation and Company Creation. Chapter 3 is Introduction to the Tele, and Chapter 4 Ledger Creation with the Trial Balance. Chapter 5 Type of Vouchers in Tele. Chapter 6 Trial Balance with the Transaction. Chapter 7 Bank Reconciliation in Tele, and Chapter 8 is Inventory Creation, and Chapter 9 is a Godown Creation. Chapter 10 is a Payroll in Tele. Chapter 11 is a Tele with the GST. Chapter 12 is a top 25 shortcut keys in Tele. Chapter 13 is export report in Tele. Chapter 14 is backup and restore in Tele program. So now let's get started. The first chapter. The first chapter is Introduction to the Accounting. Under this chapter, I'm going to cover the what's accounting and accounts type and methods of accounting entry system. I'm going to cover in this chapter. And chapter 2, I'm going to cover the Tele installation and company creations, how to download the Tele ERP9 and how to install the Tele, and how to create the company in Tele. I'm going to cover in this chapter. Chapter 3, I'm going to cover the Introduction to the Tele. Under this chapter, I'm going to teach you the Introduction to Tele and Accounts Group of Tele and Ledger Creation. I'm going to teach you. Chapter 4 is Ledger Creation with the Trial Balance. Under this chapter, I'm going to teach you the how to enter the opening balance into the Tele and how to work with the ledger and trial balance in Tele program. And chapter 5, I'm going to teach you the type of vouchers in Tele. There are 14 type of voucher in Tele, and I'm going to teach you one by one the vouchers. Then I'm going to give the transaction for the example, how to enter the transaction into the voucher. Then chapter 6 Trial Balance with the Transaction. I'm going to cover in this chapter how to enter the opening balance into the Tele and how to work with the ledger and vouchers with the transaction. There are a lot of transactions happen in the company, so how can we create the ledger and how to create a voucher based on the transaction? I'm going to cover in this chapter. Chapter 7 is a bank reconciliation in Tele. Under this chapter, I'm going to teach you what's the bank reconciliation statement, how to reconciliation bank statement, why companies bank account balance differ from the bank statement, and work with the bank statement and company accounts. And finally, I'm going to give the example how to reconcile bank statement with companies bank accounts. Then chapter 8, we are going to see the inventory creation in Tele. Under this chapter, I'm going to cover the what's the inventory and the process of inventory creations and work with inventory creation and a company account. So finally, I'm going to give you the example how to work with inventory and how to do the transaction relative with the inventory. The next chapter is chapter 9 is a Godown Creation in Tele, and this chapter we are going to see what's the Godown and how to activate the Godown in Tele program and how to create the Godown and work with the Godown creation the company accounts. Finally, we are going to look at the example with the Godown creations with the transaction in Tele program. Then chapter 10 is Payroll in Tele. Under this chapter, I'm going to teach you what's the payroll and how to activate the payroll in Tally program, what's the process for the payroll in Tally, and finally payroll calculation with example. I'm going to be teach you that how to calculate the payroll and how to work with the payroll in Tally program. Chapter 11 is a Tally with the GST, and this chapter I'm going to be teach you what is the GST and GST structures. Then we are going to study about common GST rate. Then we are going to look the example how to work with GST in the transaction. I'm going to be teach you how to calculate the GST in the purchase and sales. And then chapter 12 is a top 25 shortcut keys in Tally. We are going to look at that and we are going to work with these 25 shortcut keys. Then chapter 13 is export report in Tally program. Under this chapter we are going to look at that how to export the Tally report into the Excel format, as well how to export the Tally report in HTML format we are going to look at. Then the final chapter is backup and restore. Under this chapter we are going to look at that how to back up and restore the company's data from the Tally, and if we back up the data, how can we restore into the Tally program. We are going to look at in this section. Thank you so much, and let's get started the first chapter.